Hello everyone and welcome back to Nothing But Star Wars. This week the High Republic Publishing Project was launched, giving us our first look at the Star Wars galaxy a whole 200 years before the Phantom Menace. In this video I'm going to be exploring the Republic starships of the era revealed so far and what they say about the galaxy during that time. First up is the Emissary class Republic cruiser. We actually don't have any official imagery of the ship yet, but it was more or less considered the Star Destroyer of its day, a ship carrier with extensive combat capabilities if needed. It was described as resembling a giant fortress turned on its side, and could carry 28 long-beam starships and 53 vector starfighters. An Emissary-class cruiser named the Third Horizon was sent to answer a cry for help from the Hetzar system during the Great Disaster. This is the cataclysmic event which kicks off the High Republic plotlines. The Longbeam was a multi-purpose craft that could be used for combat, search and rescue, transport, and other uses. Their shape was reminiscent of the hammerfish of Glianselm. Longbeam armaments included 6 missile launchers alongside other small arms and towing cables. They were constructed at shipyards on the planet Hosnian Prime, the planet which becomes the centre of the New Republic almost 300 years later, and eventually is destroyed by the Starkiller weapon. The design of the ship is based on concept art by James Klein for the Resistance bombers in The Last Jedi, and you can find them on page 192 of that film's art book. The Vector Starfighter was the main fighter of the Jedi Order during the High Republic era. They could accommodate either 1 or 2 passengers, which meant a Jedi Master and Padawan could travel together on diplomatic missions. While the Emissary cruiser and Longbeams could be piloted and used in warfare by ordinary beings, the Vector's weapon systems could only be activated with the use of a lightsaber. The ship's design is based on concept art for Revenge of the Sith, which eventually became the ARC 170 Starfighter, hence the astromech socket and Republic cog insignia. I wanted to talk briefly about how the name and design of these ships speaks to the philosophy of both the Republic and the Jedi during this era. Even without images, the Emissary-class cruiser immediately speaks of peacekeeping, of conversation and diplomacy, a far cry from any ship of this size we've seen before, such as the Republic Venator, which literally translates as Hunter, of the Clone Wars. Charles Soule's novel Light of the Jedi speaks of the mindset behind the Republic craft being one of artisanship, free from the bonds of cost and even of function. The Jedi's Vector fighter is the most interesting here and speak to the huge difference between the Jedi of the High Republic and those of the prequel era. For one, their design. The open-wing configuration reflects an open gesture, an indicator of benevolence, and the long, smooth lines suggest craftsmanship over mass production. It reminds me a lot of the Naboo N1 starfighters from the Phantom Menace. The Delta 7 Eta 2 interceptors of the final days of the Republic are pointed, dagger-like ships which have more in common with the Star Destroyers or TIE fighters of the later Galactic Empire. The 2-person cockpit which allows Master and Padawan to travel together is also a sharp contrast to the fighters which follow, which hold just one pilot and rely on an astromech to do the heavy lifting. Again, there's this emphasis on collaboration which we know becomes isolation and technological reliance. The need of a lightsaber to activate the weapon serves not only as a security measure, but also to ensure that all other avenues have been pursued before combat. Firing those twin lasers requires that last second moment of reflection before they could be used to warn, disable, and maybe even destroy an enemy ship. By the time of Palpatine's rise to power, the Jedi starfighters could be piloted and used as weapons by any being and were fitted with armament such as missile launchers and large arrays of laser cannons designed only for destruction. So far, this new era of Star Wars is absolutely fascinating to me, and I can't wait to see what other ships and vehicles it has in store. Let me know in the comments what you think of the High Republic books so far. Thanks so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.